Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, we're going to be making a Ultimate Edition Seth Rollins from Wrestlemania 39, I think. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. All right, I get my WrestleMania numbers mixed up now, and this is from when he fought Cody Rhodes, when Cody Rhodes debuted. I think that was WrestleMania 39, maybe 38. I can't remember. But anyway, we got the Ultimate Edition of Cody. We've got him in the gold attire with the robe and everything. And I have this Ultimate Edition Seth Rollins. And I made this once before and I loved it. I really, really liked it. And someone wanted to buy it. And I figured, what the heck? I'll just make another one because we've got the extra decals. And I sold it. So I wanted to make it again, but then every time I'd buy a new Seth Rollins Elite, it would become an Osprey, or there was some other Seth Rollins attire I'd make. So I'm finally getting back around to making this one, and I want to do an Ultimate Edition just because it'll match the Cody that we got. With this one, there's just a ton of decals. A ton of decals. It's going to cover everything. So what I'm going to do is just apply the decals. With the drop down hips, I don't really have to do any sanding because I can just pull them down and apply the decals. And then everything else, if it's not covered up, I will just cover it up with the black paint as I need to. So no prepping really. Just a lot of patience and a lot of decals. So the decal application takes a while because it covers everything, like every part of the leg is covered, which I did a lot of prepping for the last one I did and realized I didn't need to at the end. So not going to do that here today, just going to need a lot of patience, a lot of micro set, a lot of micro sole, and a good hair dryer. So let's go. All right, time to go ahead and get started with Rollins here, and it really is mostly decals. I have a little bit I'm going to fill in at the end, at least I'm going to try to. So with these, especially as big as these decals are, it's really important that you get them on, you place them gently, and then the hair dryer, the micro sole, is going to really help soften those up and kind of get them to mold around the corners, and that's what's going to fit the best. So these leg ones especially, they're cut and designed well by Curb Stomp, so they do fit nicely, and the drop down hips make it a lot easier to apply those. But even on the Elite figures, as long as you are being patient and not just trying to kind of jam them into place, they're gonna turn out pretty well. And I can't stress enough like how important the hair dryer is. It helps so much at the end, trying to get everything placed on there and placed neatly and like really formed to the legs. Same thing on the kick pads. The way they're cut, they're rectangular, so they don't quite make it all the way to the bottom of the boot there, but I plan to fill that in a little bit once we get to the end. But on these kick pads, especially the new Rollins kick pads, they're kind of raised, so I make sure to wrap it around and kind of get a little bit of it up on that kick pad so that it has some room to bend and mold around it, so it's not coming loose on top. If that kind of makes sense. But I'm coming back over with the kick pad decal, so I put those other ones on first and then these on top, so you can't even tell that there's two decals overlapping there. But like I said, I'm going to fill this in, so I mixed together some paints. This first round here is a little more teal than I would like, so I did another layer. I'll do another layer after this, but I'm going to make it a little more blue. It was a little too green, I felt like. So after I do all that, I'm going to get the knee pads. I'm going to get any areas that are black. And then instead of trying to do like the perfect lace design that's all that the rest of the attire has, I'm kind of just going to take my brush and do like some swishes and some like twirls or C's, just kind of different designs so that it kind of blends in. It's not going to be perfect, but I think when you look at it from a little bit away instead of looking like real close at it, you're not going to be able to tell a huge difference, and that's kind of what I'm going for. I want to get better with customs. I'm not trying to chase perfection. So here's the finished Seth, and this second time around I love. I was really happy with it the first time, but there was a lot of pieces left uncovered, and I feel like the paint and just the kind of general swirls and everything that I threw in there blend in really well. I'm really happy with it. I did end up painting the foot part of both sides. The decals with the articulated toe are just kind of a pain, so I just what is the word I'm trying to think of? I didn't use those. I don't know what I was trying to think of. I didn't use the foot ones because those were kind of difficult. I ended up just painting them, and I'm really happy with it. The teal color I used, I feel like matches pretty well. And the knee pads, like if you look real close and you know exactly what you're looking for, you definitely can tell that there's some painted spots, but I feel like it just blended really well. And like I said, overall, I'm really happy with it. The Ultimate Edition torso for Rollins here, I think definitely works. I don't mind them using the Daniel Bryan torso on the Top Picks figure. I feel like that's a little more fitting for Seth. He is obviously a fit person, but he's a dad now. Like, welcome to the club. So this is how it goes. But that is my Rollins here. But I did have something, so I've kind of been pushing this off because I wanted to try, but I wanted to make a robe or something. I tried to make the black mesh shirt that he kind of wore underneath it, but the material I had was really light, so it didn't pick up well. It just didn't. I wasn't happy with it. It didn't turn out kind of the way I wanted. So I didn't do that, but I did make a robe. So I'm going to pull that out here. So here's my first kind of crack at a soft goods robe. And there's some things that just like fit wise I'd like to do a little better. What I used as my template was the trench coat that came with the Legends Edge figure. So it fits kind of like that. The arms, I think I'd like to make those a little bit shorter. They kind of go over his hands a lot, which it's just kind of like a minor nitpick. As far as the fur on the coat, I'm really happy with the color I found. The like material itself is kind of hard to work with. It's not exactly what I'd like, but I don't know a lot about faux fur yet, so I'll figure it out as I go. As far as it being my first attempt, I'm really happy with it. And even though it looks ridiculous, like if you look at pictures from Wrestlemania where he wore this robe, it was pretty ridiculous. That's kind of the whole theme with Rollins and his outfits now. So I'm excited about this. It would have cost me a lot more money to try to buy this from somewhere, and as far as getting started, I'm pretty content with it. So plenty of stuff I can nitpick. My sewing skills are probably like below average right now. I don't know. It's hard for me to know. I felt like I did a pretty good job, but you know, there's always ways to improve. Obviously, I've improved just customizing in general, so this is just going to be another thing on the list that I work towards. But hopefully you guys appreciate that a little bit. I think it's a little cool. There's some great soft goods customizers out there. Sabotage Wrestling on Instagram makes some really nice stuff. Seen him make like some Sting jackets. I really like Bret Hart jackets. I can't. There's one. It's like X Studio or something like that. I can't think of it. And then Coltez Customs. He makes a lot of clothing goods that are like that he makes strictly like to the figure. He makes a lot of women's customs. I think that's Coltez Customs. Those are fantastic too, but those are some great people if you want to check out. Like, that's kind of some people I look for inspiration from. But that is going to be it. That's everything for Rollins today. Hopefully you guys like this. I felt like it was a big upgrade from the first version I did, where it was on the Elite body. There's a lot of parts left unpainted and everything, but like I said, that's everything. So I'd love to hear you guys' feedback this time around. If you're someone that makes your own soft goods or have tried, I'd love to hear any like advice or tips that you guys have found. Material, I'm still trying to figure out like the best material to use for things, but a lot of stuff I could chat about here. I've had plenty of conversations about soft goods in the last couple weeks, but if you stuck around, I appreciate it. We've got plenty of Work in Progress Wednesdays to come, a lot of really exciting stuff. Hopefully, you enjoy the Royal Rumble. I will be there. I'm excited. I've never been to a Rumble. Last pay-per-view I went to was actually WrestleMania 32, so it's been a long time for that even, but gonna see John Cena, who I literally grew up with. I've talked about being a big Ruthless Aggression fan, and he was the star of that era. One of the stars. He is the longest lasting star, and obviously it's John Cena. I don't need to explain John Cena to you if you're watching this video, but if you're there, feel free to reach out. I plan to go to WrestleCon on Saturday morning, check things out there a little bit, so I'll be around. I'm gonna go to Long's Donut Shop, get some donuts, some of the best donuts I've ever had in my life. Long is where it's at. But I'm done now, I promise. If you made it to the end, I appreciate it here. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude